Okay, all right. Okay. Oh my. Dragon's Lair. You may have never heard about this game, and if that's the case, well, the first time playing it is most likely going to be horrible. It is the granddaddy of quick time events. It is essentially one long, brutal quick time event. But I also consider this game one of the most important video games in gaming history. Not only did it partially save the arcade industry back in 1983 when the game was released, but it's also the reason why Laserdiscs were even a viable commercial product. But clearly, those were temporary successes because neither one of those things are really considered a thing now at all. Who even knows what a Laserdisc is? Do you? And yet still, despite those deaths in the industry, Dragon's Lair somehow continues to live on every single possible platform known to man, and now it is on the Nintendo Switch. So Dragon's Lair is essentially an interactive animated movie directed by Don Bluth, the man who brought you The Land Before Time, American Tail, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Titan AE. Yeah. And the way the game works is that you play as Dirk the Daring, a valiant, doofy knight that has to rescue a damsel in distress who's being held captive by a dragon. Big creative original story, I know. Anyways, so the game is essentially a series of rooms, and when Dirk enters these rooms, you have milliseconds, it feels like, to react to what's coming your way. You have 4 directions to choose from, or your sword to interact, and if you choose the wrong one out of those 5 possibilities, you die. So in so many ways, this game really is trial and death, and essentially becomes a memory game after having seen a room so many times. And even then, if you choose to press a button too soon in some cases, you die. Yet the game is still so remarkable because by looking at it, you would just think it was an animated movie that you were playing. And at the time of which that came out in 1983, there was nothing even remotely comparable in how it looked in arcades, let alone now. Games just don't look this way. And that's how you do it. Now, it's easily notable that this game was a massive success because first, how it looked, because it didn't look like anything else, and then 2, people were smashing quarters in just because they breathed wrong and they died. So therefore they had to pump more quarters in to figure out maybe they should hold their breath, physically hold their breath at one scene, and maybe they'll get past it. Nonetheless, it produced another installment called Space Ace, and then another installment in 1990 called Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp. All 3 of these games are on the Nintendo Switch release of it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this game has been put on everything from Laserdisc to DVD to the Nintendo DS. It's also on every other platform available in existence. So really, there's nothing special about it being on the Nintendo Switch at all. But with every new platform it's put on, there's a new audience that will be seeing this game possibly for the first time. So here we are. Now, thankfully, this release of the game comes with a few features that makes the whole experience just a little bit better. Like, for example, there's actually a button guidance thing that will show you the button you need to press as the scene happens, and that makes the game, for those who don't know what's happening, a little bit more enjoyable to get through it. Now, this game is near and dear to me because it marries 2 things that really kind of created my passions when I was younger, and that was art and video games. This was kind of like my first entry into knowing who Don Bluth was, and was a huge influence just on my perspective of what games were and what they can be, and so on and so forth. That said, should you buy it? I don't know. Now, I admit here and now that this was a full-fledged nostalgic purchase. I deeply respect this game, and I haven't bought it since it was released on DVD for its like 20th anniversary, so I kind of felt like I was voting with my dollar on this one, and I just wanted to throw money at it and have it live on. But unless you have a genuine interest or even a lingering curiosity about this game, I really think there's no reason to buy it or even play it I could really only recommend this game to people who are avid Don Bluth fans or just simply kind of like having interesting different experiences with games, or most importantly, if you're a video game history nerd like me, then I think it's important you have this game or at least have played it and experienced it in some way. But if you're just scrolling through the Nintendo shop on your Switch and saw this and was curious about what it was, I'd be hard pressed to recommend it. Okay, I'm Kurt Indovina. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've heard of Dragon's Lair or if this is your first time hearing about it, if you've played it, what you think about it. That said, proceed with caution, but I do love this game. I didn't even do anything and I died. Still got it.